So pretty excited for this. The first seed haul on my new channel. It is the middle of winter and I have of course been buying seeds even though I said I was not going to buy seeds. I have a bunch from MIGardener, and then of course I cannot forget my favorite, Baker Creek, so I have some from there. I'm just going to walk you guys through what I bought, share with you guys some of the varieties that I love and then some new ones that I'm going to try. So I'm going to start with MIGardener and we will start things off with a bang. So I have decided to try growing some coffee. So this is definitely not going to be grown outside for me. I'm in zone 5 and it's far too cold. This can only be grown outdoors if you're in zones 11 to 13, which I am most definitely not. It is container friendly, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to keep it as a house plant. So it says, fills the house with hints of jasmine, vanilla, citrus, and sweet sugary notes. Even if I don't ever get coffee from it, that is pretty cool. So if you guys follow me on my other channel, The Indoor Gardener, then you know that I love growing hydroponically. So this one only grows about 10 to 12 inches. Might even put some of these out in my green stock, but I just wanted to have another variety to grow hydroponically. So these are a dwarf determinate variety. It also says that they are one of the earliest maturing dwarf varieties on the market. So we will see how those do. These are one of my favorites, the Brandywine tomatoes. My parents had gone away to Portugal and they came back raving about these tomatoes. I have grown them every year since. I also have from Baker Creek the Brandywine Black and Brandywine Yellow. They are just so sweet. These are an indeterminate beefsteak variety, so they definitely will need support because they're an indeterminate, and also because they're a beefsteak, they get quite big. But if you haven't tried these, I would definitely recommend trying a Brandywine. Okay, guess we'll keep going with the tomatoes because y'all know I love tomatoes. So I also picked up these Mexican midget tomatoes. It says it's a dwarf variety as well. It's indeterminate. It's extremely productive. I don't think these are going to be small enough to grow indoors hydroponically, but I'll see once I grow them outdoors and see how tall they get. Another cool one are these dwarf indeterminate Werrikawai tomatoes. These ones are from New Zealand, and I think I've mentioned this before, but that's where I was born. Didn't grow up there. When I saw these ones, I wanted to give them a try. It says it grows some of the largest fruits possible for such a small plant. These ones would be a good option for growing in containers. They're only about 2 to 3 feet. I will try that out this year and share with you guys what I think. This is one that I grow every single year. This is the mushroom basket tomato. It is an indeterminate. I use this every year to make sauce and they're just so pretty. They're great on sandwiches too. I mean, I use them for pretty much everything. I don't know, it's just a pretty tomato and I don't need much encouragement to grow tomatoes, and if they're kind of pretty and interesting, then I'm gonna pretty much grow them. Trying this herb for the first time, it is the Russian tarragon. Honestly, I got overexcited. I saw tarragon and I bought it. In hindsight, after doing a bit of research afterwards, it does taste a bit different than the French tarragon. It says it has a bit more of a bitter flavor than the French tarragon, but it is perfect when paired with fish or lamb and delightful in soups and stews. Now that I have it, I'm going to give it a try and then we'll see what we think. I do have some French tarragon. It'll be really interesting to kind of compare the different flavors. What else do we have here? This, I just bought it because it was pretty. I mean, I like peas anyways, but these are just gorgeous. So this is the spring blush pea. It's a bicolored green snap pea that blushes purple. Flowers are purple and white as well. I'll also be doing the magnolia tendril pea that I have from Baker Creek, which is a purple pea and it's got all these masses of tendrils, which I like because peas are one of the first things I can get in the ground. Oh, I missed one tomato. This is not new to me, but I absolutely love it. We grow this one every year as well. This is the Lucky Tiger tomato. It is an indeterminate. I find it so sweet. I have another version of this, but that was from Baker Creek, so that will be coming up in a minute. If you're not used to having green tomatoes and you don't really know how to tell when they're ripe, I just do it by feel with these guys. They do tend to get, you can see it on the package, they do tend to get some red and some other colors on them when they are getting ripe. What else do we have? We have some cilantro. So you're either on Team Cilantro or you are not on Team Cilantro. I am on Team Cilantro. I love this stuff. This is Calypso. I've heard some good stuff about it. I also have the Slow Bolt variety from Baker Creek. I'm going to try and keep it more in the shade where the temperatures are going to be hopefully a little bit cooler, and I will succession plant it. And if it does happen to bolt and go to seed on you or start to go to seed on you, I usually just let it go because then I have seeds for next year. And then you have coriander and you can save the coriander seeds for cooking. Another one that I have is culantro, which is a Mexican heirloom. It has a more pungent flavor than its cousin cilantro. It is perennial in zones 10 to 11. I also picked up a lettuce. This is the black-seeded Simpson. It's a very popular one for home gardeners. It is also container friendly, which is good because if you only have a small space, then growing in containers might be all that you're able to do. Price of lettuce going up and down and whatever it's doing, doesn't hurt to start growing lettuce. I also picked up some flowers. I got the silver aster. This is very like purple around the outside and white in the center. I'm all for just adding more flowers and bringing in pollinators into the garden. When I first started my garden, it was pretty much grass and plants and flowers. And I took out all of the flowers just to put in all sorts of vegetables. Now I've gone back to realizing that it's not just the vegetables we need. You also need to be having the things that are going to bring in the pollinators and just to add some beauty to the garden. That is why I've started bringing back a lot of different flowers, and even better if they can be edible flowers or medicinal flowers. It's good to have a balance of the two. I grabbed these Space Master 80 cucumbers. It says they're container friendly, so I really do want to focus this year on showing how much you can grow in containers when you only have a small space. Keeping with the container theme, I got these Minnesota midget cantaloupe, which doesn't have a very big footprint, so whether it's grown in a container or just in the garden, it's not going to take up too much space. And then this last one, I don't know. I just wanted to try it. It was gorgeous. I've been looking at them for a while, but they were always out of stock. I picked up these dragon fruits. These are the purple fleshed variety. These things grow for quite a long time, apparently, before they are going to give fruit. I'm probably just going to keep this inside. I may never actually get any dragon fruit, but it's worth a try. It does say they are container friendly, which is good because I'm going to have to be growing this thing in my house. That is it for the MIGardener seeds. Now on to my absolute favorite, Baker Creek. The first one I got these stalks. These are the Asano Kagayaki stalks. Probably absolutely butchered that, and I apologize. These ones, it does say, need to be cold stratified. I am going to have to get these outside soon because they need to be chilled before they will bloom. It's always good to read the backs of your seed packages and to do your planning earlier, because if there's anything that does need to be cold stratified like lavender or these stalks, you can get on that and you're not going to try and start them later in the spring and then realizing that you're not going to be able to get those plants. So that one I'm going to set aside. I also have some Pink Surprise calendula. So calendula is something I really got into last year. I want to try and make some calendula salve. I have the strawberry blonde calendulas. They have medicinal uses, which is great. Plus they are great for companion planting. I like to kind of nestle these in amongst my tomatoes. What else do we have here? This is something I love about Baker Creek. When you do a big enough order, you are going to get some free seeds. This one is the Mizuna, the Japanese heirloom. I just love anything that adds a pop of color into the garden, which this one definitely will. I got another free seed here. These are the spoon tomatoes. So they really are that tiny. I've grown them before. They can take over. So I like to plant this one in a container because it helps to constrain it a little bit. I've grown currant tomatoes before, but these are even tinier than the currant tomatoes. They're just super cute. So some more flowers. I picked up the salvia. This is the Amore salmon. They're supposed to be really good for attracting pollinators, hummingbirds, and it also says that you can put them into pots, and it's a cottage garden design. I'm hoping at some point to kind of turn the front yard into vegetable beds and like put a white picket fence and turn it into that English cottage garden vibe. So I can't wait to add those out front. I also picked up some new hollyhocks. These ones just were absolutely gorgeous. The Creme de Cassis. These ones are a biennial, so they are typically not going to flower in the first year. They will flower in the second year. When I plant hollyhocks, I like to plant them where I know I'm going to want to keep them, reseed in that area, and then you're constantly getting blooms year over year. So this is the other tiger tomato that I got. This is the Blush Tiger. So this is another indeterminate tomato. I love having beautiful fruit growing in my garden. This will be my first year growing this one. Like I mentioned, I have done the Lucky Tiger year over year. So hopefully these ones are as good. We'll have to wait and see how they do. I didn't get many peppers. I already have a lot. So this is the Thai red chili pepper, an heirloom from Thailand. And I love cooking Thai food, so hopefully these will be a good addition to the garden this year. Trying to learn to love beets because I know they're good for me. These ones are a white heirloom from Holland, and it says it's super sweet. White flesh is unusual and tasty. Not sure what to make of the unusual, but we will try them and see. I picked up this moringa squash. This is from Brazil, and the reason I wanted to get this one is I saw a recipe for this Brazilian soup that I can't remember what it's called. I will put it on the screen. You cook it in the squash, from what I understand. It's got shrimp, and it just looked amazing. So I wanted to grow the squash so that I could make the soup, because you don't find this at the grocery store. Or not my grocery store anyways. Picked up this Lola Rosa lettuce. It's got very curled leaves that are light green with a stunning bright red edges. It just looked really pretty, and I've heard some good things about this lettuce, so I'm going to add this to my garden. The other thing I got that was kind of neat, which is not a seed, is I actually picked up some of this Old World sourdough starter. I am going to restart doing sourdough, because I used to do it before, and I forgot it in the back of the fridge, and it did not do well. So I am going to try again and take better care of my sourdough, and then be making fresh bread. That is another thing I'm going to be trying this year. That, my friends, is all my new seeds after I said I was not buying seeds anymore and that I do not need any seeds. But then this happened, because seeds just happen. Hopefully you enjoyed watching that, my first seed haul on this channel. A lot of these varieties will be great to grow in a green stock, which is absolutely perfect if you don't have a lot of space. And if you want to check out me setting up my green stock, you can check out this next video.